Welcome and thank you for tuning into this episode of Cougar Spotlight. I am your host, Nick Iacovo. This show is a deep dive into the wonderful sports world at Caldwell University, featuring behind-the-scenes footage, exclusive interviews, and in-studio analysis. This episode is going to be focused on women's basketball. Caldwell's women's basketball program is ready to take the next leap forward. Head coach Christie Conforti enters year 4 leading our women's program, with a young and talented squad ready to make a big impact this season, beginning with wins over Pace and Franklin Pierce. Sophomore Jah'Nel Lewis comes off an impressive rookie campaign with no signs of slowdown, along with Lucy Coogan entering year 3 looking as dominant as ever. Getting the opportunity to speak with all three before the season began, all sides are eager to make a statement and are ready to step onto the court. This is Cougar Spotlight Women's Basketball.
I went home and I worked out with my coach a lot, every day. And also, we had a lot of seniors that graduated. So it was we came in last year, we had a grad student who just transferred here. So, she wasn't used to our team yet. KJ, our senior, and then we had sophomores and freshmen. So it was I had no choice but to step up and do what I could for the team. And it wasn't just me, the whole team. I can't be me without our team. So, it was fun. I had a good year. I really enjoyed playing last year. So hopefully this year it's only going to be bigger.
Welcome back to Cougar Spotlight Women's Basketball. My guests at this time, junior number 11, Lucy Coogan, and sophomore number 1, Jah'Nel Lewis. How are you two doing today?
I'm doing good today.
I'm great.
So let's start off very simple, kind of ease the tension a little bit. Let's break the ice. How are you both feeling coming into year 2 for you, Jah'Nel, year 3 for you, Lucy? How are you both feeling coming into this season?
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to a great season, a great year with the coaches and a potential of the freshmen and transfers coming in this year.
Yeah, I'm also excited. It's my 3rd year now, so I feel like I know the conference a lot better and the different teams that we're going to have to face. But as Nunu said, she's recruited some great freshmen and a transfer, so I'm really excited to see how this year goes.
Yeah, Lucy, we're going to stick with you for a second. Last season, despite dealing with some injuries in the year, you still managed to finish top 5 in scoring, which is pretty remarkable. And your last 8 games, you finished with an average of 22 points a game, including a 34-point career high against Wilmington University. This is quite the step up from your freshman year, where you only averaged 9 points a game. What was sort of the big change that you made in the offseason to allow you to start scoring more?
I went home and I worked out with my coach a lot, every day. And also, we had a lot of seniors that graduated. So it was we came in last year, we had a grad student who just transferred here. So she wasn't used to our team yet. KJ, our senior, and then we had sophomores and freshmen. So it was I had no choice but to step up and do what I could for the team. And it wasn't just me, the whole team. I can't be me without our team. So, it was fun. I had a good year. I really enjoyed playing last year. So hopefully this year it's only going to be bigger and better.
That's all we can hope for. And your list of accomplishments you've had when you played overseas is quite incredible. It's too many accomplishments to even list on my note card. An under-18 national team player. You were the European champion in Bulgaria. What was sort of the thing that you quickly realized, transitioning from your play overseas to here in America? What was sort of the big change that you quickly realized once you started playing here?
I feel I didn't find much of a change because when I played in the European Championships, that I feel that really prepared me. Playing in Ireland by itself, it's a lot different. Especially in our conference, in Ireland, it's a lot more physical. Here, it's one touch and they're gonna call a foul. But I feel when I play in the European Championships and the tempo and the speed of the game, that really prepared me for when I came over here, and that helped me a lot.
And now we're going to transition to you, Jah'Nel. We're not just going to focus on Lucy the whole time. We're going to switch it over to you. Jah'Nel Lewis, what a freshman year You're an all CACC second team member, the Met basketball writers all first team. Just really incredible stuff that you were doing, particularly towards the end of last year. What was kind of the feeling that you had during your freshman year as you were playing here at Caldwell?
So when I first came here, I had the mentality that I had to come in, do what I had to do to prove myself. I was a freshman. There were players who were here before me. And I just had to come in and, like, show everyone that, like, I'm different and, like, I could play. Like, it's not just my talent or anything. It's just me as a player. I also felt like coming in, like, I just had to have that dog but humbling mentality. Like, it wasn't just proving myself to, like, my teammates or my coaches, but, like, also those, like, around me and, like, any player inside the CAT. There were other coaches and, like, players that I knew, like, coming here and stuff, and, like, I knew, like, I would be playing against them soon. So, like, I also, like, had the mentality, like, I want to play against you. Like, I want to be better than you. I want to prove that I'm better than you. I want to prove that going to a different school and playing against you, like, we will have some type of comp, you know?
That's awesome. And now I want to take back to a date that might actually be pretty special to you. December 30th, 2022. You were at the free throw line. You didn't know it at the time, and you sank one free throw, and you became a 1,000-point scorer at Fort Lee. You finished your high school career with 1,500 points, which is quite remarkable. You were also ranked as a top 5 player in the state of New Jersey. And I found out basketball sort of came late to you.
Yeah.
What sort of was the moment that it sort of clicked into you that playing at the next level could be a reality?
Honestly, as, like, you mentioned, I started playing really, like, my freshman year of high school. And then it was conflicted because I had to transfer schools and stuff. But I knew, like, I was capable of playing somewhere, maybe, like, my junior, going into my senior year. I started playing AAU more. Coaches was looking at me. And I just knew, like, I was more than capable because AAU was way more competitive than, like, high school basketball. And, like, when I seen, like, I was competing, like, with older girls, because I was, like, a sophomore playing on varsity AAU. So, like, I knew I was capable of playing. And then also, too, I had coaches surrounding me my senior year, pushing me, telling me, like, I could do it, like, I'm good. And they were, like, helping me keep up my confidence. And that's when I just knew, like, yeah, I could play at a high level in college.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that story. We're finally going to pan back to the both of you, heading back into college now. Obviously, we mentioned at the outset the feeling coming into this year, seeing the practices, the vibe. There's a lot of energy coming along with your women's basketball team. Yeah. And you two are going to be focal points of that, as you two are one of 12 players that are returning this season. What do you think, personally, being part of that many returning starters is going to do for Caldwell this season?
I honestly think it's a process. Like, obviously, like, we're going to have to get used to, like, playing with each other since, like, it's newcomers here. But I do think it will be better than last year. We have way more players, way more people to compete with and compete against. I definitely think, like, this would be, like, it won't be, like, our growth aspect, but it will also be, like, the aspect of things where it's the progress showing, like, our success era. Last year, we had a bit of, we had a bit of a challenge. Like, it was a bit of, like, obstacles that we endured, only having but 9 players. And now that we do have 12, I feel as though, like, a lot of teams aren't going to expect us, like, they're going to underestimate us. And I think with having a lot of players this year is what is going to be the spark that helps us,
Yeah, I feel like our practices, like, since the first day of preseason, like, coach has always just been, like, on us, pushing us. And I feel like that's really helping us to come together as a team. And, like, if coach get on us, we have each other's backs always. We have an 18-man roster now, so it's like if one of us is down, like, the next person is up, and they're ready. They're ready to step up and be there for whoever goes down. But, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a good year.
That's awesome. And then finally, we're going to ask a bit of a prediction for the both of you. What do the both of you feel like bringing a CACC championship, a banner back to this university?
It's
What would it
coming
mean
back.
for the both of you?
It's coming back this year. I'm telling you, we're getting it. Yeah, they ranked us 4, but we're gonna hold that and we're gonna be number 1. That would mean a lot to me personally. Like being here, it's my 3rd year now, and had not a rough 2 years, but not doing as well as I would have wanted our team to do. So yeah, that I can't wait for that to happen. It is gonna happen. It's what we all want, so that will be an unbelievable feeling when it happens.
What did I say last year? All gas, no brakes. We're coming after everything, everybody. We stepping on everyone next. This year is gonna be so different. We were predicted to be number 4 in the CAC. That's not us. That is not us. We're number 1. We're better than every team. And our players here are just better than everyone. We're more than capable to beat anybody in the CAC. I think we could beat any team outside the CAC, in the CAC. I don't think no team could just – our team is just great. Like, our team – I love our team. Our team is just so good. And I really think this year is going to be different and an eye-opener for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the first year, it was great. It was after COVID, so it was a little bit challenging. But, just got right to the ground running, and it was great to meet those players at the time, and I was just super excited to be at Caldwell.
Welcome back to Cougar Spotlight Women's Basketball. My guest at this time, head coach of our women's program, Christie Conforti. How are you doing today, Coach?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start off. You're coming into year 4 at Caldwell. You took over the program in April of 2021. What was kind of that first meeting like, meeting the players for the first time? How do you feel like the players responded? What was the vibe like going into that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, the first year, it was great. It was after COVID, so it was a little bit challenging. But, just got right to the ground running, and it was great to meet those players at the time, and I was just super excited to be at Caldwell.
Then what was also awesome was your first season here. You finished 13-15 with 8 wins in the conference. You also made the opening round of the CACC tournament. Did you feel like you had a fantastic time growing at Caldwell, or did you feel like maybe there's some growing pains and you got over the hump late?
Yeah, I mean, that first year, we had some really good returning players here that were currently here, and then we brought in some transfers that really helped as well. And it was just a year that was up and down a little bit, but we finished strong, and it just kind of set the tone for going forward of what we wanted to build. And we're just trying to continue off that.
And now we're going back to a little bit of your coaching history. You started out at Concordia College there for 7 years, and you were an interim head coach midway through the 2013-14 season. What was your initial reaction to getting called up to taking over as the head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I was really young at the time. I believe I was 25, so it was a challenge, and it was a program that was down for a lot of years. I believe, the year after or the year before, we were 0-26. So it was a challenge as a young coach taking over a team like that. But it was exciting to build and grow, and I thought that's what we did in the years that I was there. And it led me to here. So it was a great time. I really loved my time at Concordia and the players that I coached there. And, I kind of felt like I grew up with them.
Yeah, and what accomplishments you had at Concordia. You made your first ever NCAA tournament appearance in 2016 and 17. You reached the semifinals of the Division II tournament and even earned a championship bid as well. So congratulations on what an incredible career you had at Concordia.
Thank you.
And now let's go back to Caldwell. Last season, it was, as the player said, it was a bit of a challenge, a very, very young roster. I think that was doing the games last year, the very first point I pointed it out. What a young roster you had. Did you feel like there were some growing pains with that young of a roster, or did you feel like there were some other factors that played in?
Yeah, I mean, coming in, we had a pretty seasoned roster my first year. We had a bunch of upperclassmen, grad students. And then once they kind of cycled out, we were kind of starting from scratch, in my opinion. So we were growing, and we were really, really young. I believe probably over 90% of the roster was freshmen and sophomores last year. And we dealt with a lot of injuries. So we have some players back. We brought in some exciting players as well. And I'm just excited for what we have and the depth that we have as well. We have a big roster, but every single one of them have shown that they could be out there and play. And I'm just excited for this upcoming year.
You mentioned depth. This was another big thing I noticed. You have 12 returning players on an 18-player roster. That is staggering, the amount of numbers that you have. Do you feel like with all of these players that are making jumps, like a lot of the freshmen that played last year, making jumps into year two, do you expect a big leap forward from the young guys and from the veterans as well?
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were times when we lost really close games with 4 freshmen on the floor at once, so they have the experience now. So the hope is that we take that next leap and they have that under their belt and we could close some games out maybe that we didn't last year because we do have the experience.
And I can't wait to see how you guys do. Again, home opener on Friday. What do you think is the vibe around the team? I've seen a couple of your practices. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of exuberance, a lot of juice flowing with women's basketball. What do you feel like the vibe has been, particularly in the preseason, and now the season's about to start? What do you feel like the vibe's been with this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had a pretty good preseason. I think they're excited, and they do bring that energy every day. And it's even more exciting to be at home this year to open up. So we know we have a challenge ahead with Pace and Adelphi. They're 2 good NE10 schools. But I think this group has shown that they're up for that challenge.
And lastly, what would it mean to you to bring a CACC banner home to Caldwell University? The players that we had in before, Lucy and Jah'Nel, they both were adamant that that's the goal right now, is to bring the banner home. What would it mean to you personally to bring a banner here?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've coached in the CACC a long time now, so that would be the ultimate goal, obviously. But for this team, I think just taking it day by day and getting better each day, and then I think really good things could happen if we do that. So as long as we hit our stride once we start conference games, I think we could play with anyone in the league.
On behalf of Athletics and Communication and Media Studies, thank you for watching. Be sure to follow Caldwell Athletics on all of our social media pages for updates and upcoming shows. I am Nick Iacovo, and this has been Cougar Spotlight.